Calculations are a type of problem-solving calculation which are very common in the higher chemistry exam. They look at things that are only loosely related to chemistry, often the deathly dose of a drug or the cost of a chemical, rather than working in moles and things like you're used to. So here's a simple example. 14 bananas cost £1.40. How much will 7 bananas cost? So you probably know it's 70 pence straight away, but think about how you worked it out. Did you do half of 14 is 7, so half of £1.40 is going to give you the amount of the cost of the 7 bananas? Probably. You might have gone down to 1. Now, for these examples, it is best if you go down to 1. So we're going to set all of our examples out like this. We're going to have what we've got and what we want to know. And we are going to do the ratio. So we've got 14 bananas cost £1.40. We want to know how much 7 bananas cost. So we're going to start by working out how much 1 banana costs. So 1 banana is going to cost £1.40 divided by 14, which gives you 10 pence or 0.1 of a pound. So then, if we want to know 7 bananas, we just have to times that value by 7. If we want to know 1,000 bananas, we have to times that value by 1,000. So for 7 bananas, we times it by 7 and we get 0.70 pounds. And you need to make sure you're writing the correct units for these questions as well. And sometimes they might be a bit random. So the maximum dosage of paracetamol is 60 milligrams per kilogram of body mass. What is the maximum dosage for a 82 kilogram man? Now, in these questions there tends to be a lot of information, various numbers, sometimes the same kind of value in different units. So kilograms and milligrams, both masses, but with different units in this example. So what we've got then is we know that 1 kilogram of body mass is going to give us, we can take 60 milligrams of paracetamol. And the reason we know it's 1 is because it says per kilogram, so that gives it away. So 1 kilogram gives 60, can deal with 60 milligrams. Now, we want to know it for an 82 kilogram man, so we've got 82 kilograms, and this one's easy because it's already went to 1 for us, so we just do 60 times 82. So for an 82 kilogram man, the maximum dose is 4920 milligrams of paracetamol, and that's our final answer. Now, here's another example. So bromobenzene costs £18.40 per 500 grams. A reaction requires 15.7 grams of bromobenzene. How much will this cost? So we know the mass and we want to work out the cost. So the ratio of mass to cost we have so far is that 500 grams will cost £18.40. Now, if we go down to 1 for this, 1 gram, so to work that out, we would do 18.40 divided by 500, which gives us 0.0368. Now, that's for 1 gram. We want it for 15.7 grams. So 15.7 grams. So for that, we would do 0.0368 times 15.7, which gives us 58 pence as our final answer for that. So this is a slightly more complicated example which comes straight from the Higher 2016 past paper. I've highlighted the important information. I think this is a good technique in a test or exam to take a highlighter and highlight the information that's actually important, because they add a lot of extra words to try and confuse you a wee bit. This one is more difficult. It's a two-step calculation. So we can do got and want, but we need to do it twice. So we know the body mass and we know the mass of tox, and we want the mass of toxin for that body mass, and then we can use that mass of toxin to work out what mass of mushrooms we would require. So for the body mass, let's just draw in some arrows to make sure we're following the process. Okay, so we know that 1 kilogram, because it says per kilogram, the lethal dose is 100 milligrams. So we know 1 kilogram and 100 milligrams. So we want it for a 75 kilogram adult. So we know 75 kilogram adult. We want to know the mass of the toxin, alpha-amanitin. So in this case, because it's already down to 1 kilogram, we can do 100 times 75, and that's going to give us, for the 75 kilogram person, it's going to give us 7,500 milligrams is the lethal dose. So then we've got the mass of toxin, we know it, and what we want is the mass of mushrooms. So this is what I was saying about there being lots of the same units here. We've had 3 different masses in this question. So we have the mass of toxin we worked out here is 7500 milligrams, 7500 milligrams, and the mass of mushrooms, so it tells us, I'm going to move this down, so it tells us that 1 gram of death cap mushroom contains 250 milligrams of alpha-amanitin. So we've got 250 milligrams is 1 gram of mushroom and 1 gram of mushrooms. So then we're going to go down to 1 here. So 1 milligram is going to be 1 divided by 250, which is going to be 0.004 grams of mushrooms. I find it helps if you write your units all the way down these questions, because then you're noticing the difference between the grams and the milligrams. So then that's how much we've got for 1 milligram, so we can use our 7500 again. So 7500, and how many mushrooms would you have to eat for that? So you have 7500 times 0.004, which gives you 30 grams of mushrooms to be lethal. So you'd have to eat a lot of mushroom risotto with these death cap mushrooms for them to be lethal. That's the most difficult this type of question that you're going to see.